going to go get matching tattoos?
You broke up.
I said, I thought we were all going to go get matching tattoos.
Ladies first. Right.
I was going to say, once Paul gets his, then we can all follow suit.
Oh, come on. We all need the Rotary wheel tattooed somewhere.
Very classy. Very classy, for sure. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. I think we got a good amount of people on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the April 23rd. Is that right? Okay, April 23rd meeting of the Rotary Club of Milledgeville. And I just blanked on who is Rotarian of the Day. Michael Cleveland? Is he on? We were going in alphabetical order, and last week was Lynn Chandler. Is Michael on? I don't think so. William Black, you were not on the week that it was your turn. So you are now nominated as Rotarian of the Day.
He's not here.
Now here's
Okay, how are we doing this?
We have slides for the...
Thank you, Amy and the group. I'm so excited to share that I received the job offer yesterday, and I'm very excited about being out of work on December 29th. I had a phone interview last week, a second interview on Monday. I found this job as a direct result of the LinkedIn target.
Can you mute yourself?
Just answer calls. Huge increase in contacts from recruiters and
There we go. Okay, sorry about that.
Gotta be Jimmy Eubanks.
All right, we have slides for the pledge, the prayer, and the four-way test, William.
Okay. All right, so I guess we'll start this out with the, as usual, we'll go ahead and get started with the, do the prayer first, you think?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go ahead and start this out with prayer. Can everybody hear me, I guess?
Yeah.
Dear God, Lord, we come to you today and we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for the technology we have to be able to meet together and to continue to do our businesses. God, we just thank you for the opportunities you've given us as a Rotary Club to serve others in our community. And we just ask now that you'll be with us as we move forward and give us enlightenment as to what you would like for us to do during these trying times. We pray for our leaders of our state and our national leaders as they manage us through this crisis. And we ask that your healing hands be upon each and every one of us. In Jesus' name we pray these things. Amen.
Amen.
All right, if you join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And a four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Truth. Second, is it fair
to all concerned?
Third, will it build good
relationships?
And fourth, will it be beneficial
for
all concerned?
And fifth,
is it fun?
Is it fun?
Thanks, William. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh, no problem. I'm the chaplain. That's what I'm there for, right?
Well, and we got your email, so I appreciate you sending that out as well.
Thank you.
Before we get started with our program, which we've had to change it up a little bit, I hope everyone received the two emails, actually. The first of which was regarding some service opportunities, and two of them are local needs, and then there are two that we got from Rotary International or our district. the two locally, the first of which is to volunteer with the Baldwin County School District in meal distribution, and that can look many different ways. And Norris said that there's opportunities starting at 5:30 in the morning and going all the way till about 3:30 in the afternoon. So if you're an early riser, or if you are a later riser like I am, then you can sign up for any of those, and you can even actually be in the kitchen preparing meals, assembling the meal bags, tearing down boxes, and then there's about, I think she said 37 different sites that they are distributing them. Some of them are drive-through permanent sites, such as the library and some of the other schools, and then some of them go on buses and actually deliver them out into the neighborhood. So they need a bunch of help with this. They are going to be continuing this until May 22nd, which is the last day of school, and then there's going to be about a week's break that she may need our additional help with in securing some food for that particular week. She's waiting to hear back from the state. She did apply for a waiver to be able to serve food during that time, but I will definitely reach out if the need is there and see how we can step up as a club and ensure that the kids in Baldwin County get fed during that week if there is a lapse. And so the lapse would be between when school ends and when the summer meal program begins. But there is a Google document that I linked in that email, and so she would prefer that you go straight through that Google document instead of reaching out to either me or her, because it specifically has your contact information, when you're available, so your availability, where you would like to serve. So if you need help accessing that Google document, let me know, but that should be the easiest way to sign up for help. And then the other one is for isolation gowns for Navicent Health Baldwin, our local hospital, and they need a lot of them. So it's a pretty simple pattern and design. The supplies, I included links to order those supplies. You may actually have something that's similar to that they could use. There's just a lot of pieces there with OSHA and different entities that have to approve it before they can use it. But if you are able or have access to any of those, please feel free to make as many as you need. I know that they would gladly accept them. And then the two international projects I shared with you were for a volunteer surge and for Shopping Angels, which are both opportunities to either serve via telemedicine or to serve as delivery to shut-ins and homebound seniors. And the links to sign up to volunteer for both of those are in the email as well. Then the second email I sent out was a list of our slate of officers for the 2020/21 Rotary year. So these are the board members that either are currently serving and they're going to be completing their second term, some of them more actually, second year, excuse me, or they are filling new positions. And so I sent those out, but I'll go ahead and go over them now since we can't distribute them on tables and actually look at them for 2 weeks. So the president beginning in July of this year will be Joe Peters. President-elect Tom Glover. Secretary will remain Jack Kraft. Treasurer will remain Derek Williams. Membership will remain Jennifer Pollard. Public relations will be Nick Goebel, with Ashley Baking assisting with social media. Club programs and administration will be Aaron Andrews. Service projects will remain Norris Price, and foundation will remain Bill Jones, and then of course I'll be past president. And if there's any questions about that, I've received a lot of sounds good and great slate email replies. So if you have any questions or any concerns about that, just let me know. And then I also included in that email the Paul Harris Fellows, which if you'll remember back, the district had some points that they were looking to match and give out to those who wanted to increase their Paul Harris, maybe be a +1, +2, etc., or obtain it for the first time. And so many of you took advantage of that and jumped on that in order to get your Paul Harris Fellows. And so I'm excited to announce that Jim Fain is a Paul Harris Fellow. Bill Jones is Paul Harris Fellow +1. Karen Brooks, Derek Williams, and Jeff Gray received their Paul Harris Fellow +2. Melvin Ushery, Paul Harris Fellow +4. And Renee Fontenot, it's listed on there as Paul Harris Fellow +8, but I think we're technically up to about 10 or 11 now. But they don't acknowledge at a plus is what we call it. So congratulations to all of those Paul Harris Fellows. Are there any questions, comments, prayer concerns, or anything that the members would like to share or have?
Hey, Angie, it's Maurice.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that folks know not to show up at the site until they've been contacted so that we can tell where we need them. So it is really important that they complete the Google Form survey in order for us to determine the best place to use the volunteers.
Great. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, you want to make sure not all of them show up to the same place.
Right.
All right. Any other comments or questions before we get started with the program? Okay, so as you know, we were supposed to have Tyler Burton with the Making Bacon today, but we've been rained out. I'm just kidding. We were not actually going to see them play or anything, but unfortunately that fell through, and so we got really creative and we found a video about the history of Rotary International, and I think it's called The Boys of 1905. So it's about 15 minutes long, and we will play and watch that, and then I'll see you guys after that.
It was 5 years into the 20th century, and the city of the Big Shoulders was already an industrial giant and growing. Its people were a perfect example of the American melting pot, arriving from all corners of the world with a wide variety of skills and talents, but a common belief that hard work and better ideas made all things possible. In 1871, they had designed and built the world's first metal frame skyscraper. In 1900, innovative engineers actually reversed the flow of the Chicago River, while its factories, steel mills, and businesses of every description shipped their products around the globe. Against this bustling backdrop in 1905, Chicagoan Paul Harris had an idea that business and professional people could join together in fellowship and service to the community. What he didn't know was how quickly his idea, Rotary, would take root and spread throughout the world. Rotary One Chicago, the world's first service club, is proud to share with you the earliest and only film taken of Paul Harris and the Boys of 1905. It was shot in the 20s, rescued from the Rotary One archives, and restored by Rotarians. By the 1920s, Rotary was well established throughout North America, and Rotarians delighted, as they do today, in visiting the founding club, Rotary One Chicago. It was only natural that Scarsdale, New York Rotarian Charles Chick Sale, one of the most famous comic performers of the time, should head straight for the Chicago Club's headquarters in the Sherman Hotel. The Sherman House was one of Chicago's best-known hotels. It was the home of Rotary One for 61 years, and when it closed, Rotary One was the last to move its office from the famous hotel. Charles A. Schmidt was born in Neustadt, Germany, and became Assistant Secretary of the Rotary Club of Chicago in 1922. Schmidt served for the next 44 years, becoming a member in 1927 and secretary in 1947, a post he held until his retirement in 1966. The 1918 influenza epidemic forced the club to shut down for 3 weeks, resulting in the creation of the Rotary Roundtable tradition. Past President Herb Angster was also the first district governor. From the very early days of Rotary, social events offered many opportunities to meet not only fellow Rotarians, but their families as well. Regular weekly luncheons featured prominent speakers and entertainers, including the world-renowned John Philip Sousa and his band of 200 Blue Jackets. Early Rotarians enjoyed dinner and theater parties, athletic outings like golf, bowling, or tennis, and Chicago's weather permitting, good old-fashioned picnics in the park. Through world wars and other history-changing events, the boys of 1905 always found ways to focus on the positive and the good in mankind. Every event, from the ending of a war to the changing of a season, was an opportunity to promote fellowship. Every idea was worth hearing, and many of them are working just fine to this very day. Sam Gorsline was sales manager for American Can Company. Paul Harris was an attorney, but his adventurous spirit saw him through many other experiences. After graduating from the University of Iowa Law School, he traveled for 5 years, working as a reporter, cowboy, teacher, orange picker, hay baler, marble salesman, actor, and worker on a cattle boat. In 1896, he began to practice law in Chicago, and 9 years later started Rotary. Jean Harris had come to Chicago in 1904 from Scotland with her parents, brothers, and sisters. She and Paul met one Saturday afternoon while hiking and were married 3 months later. Paul and Jean Harris were justly proud of their home in the Beverly Hills district on Chicago's South Side. Their home on a wooded hill was christened Cumley Bank, after the name of the street where she was raised in Edinburgh. Early Rotarian Charles Schneider was president of the Charles Schneider Floral Company, and like many of the founding members, was approaching retirement age. But the boys of 1905 were confident in the foundation they had established and ready to entrust the future of Rotary to the next generation. Rotarian Al White, a man with a wonderful sense of humor, never faltered, even after suffering the effects of a serious stroke. The pioneers of Rotary thought of themselves as ordinary men with an extraordinary spirit, infectious enthusiasm, and a duty to help those less fortunate than themselves. Legendary Chicago urban planner and architect Daniel H. Burnham said, "Make no little plans." For founder Paul Harris, the concept of Rotary always extended as far as the ability of Rotarians to reach out to others. Chess Perry, the first and only national and international secretary, originated the name badge and presided over the first Rotary convention in 1910. Co-founder Harry Ruggles of the Harry Ruggles Printing Company started the luncheon singing tradition in 1905, leading Rotarians with his baton as they belted out such standards as the Stein Song. Sylvester Sheely, the first president of the Chicago Club, was a successful coal dealer and responsible for organizing many charitable programs. William Jensen, the first secretary of any Rotary Club, was in the real estate business. Rufus Chapin, nicknamed Roughhouse because he was such a gentle, agreeable soul, was secretary of the Union Trust Company and treasurer of Rotary International for 25 years. Another past president, Charles Newton, was the originator of the Rotary luncheon idea. Monty Bear of the M.M. Bear Company, which did steel and copper plate engraving, was the designer and creator of the first Rotary wheel, the emblem of Rotary. Al White was president of A.L. White Manufacturing Company, makers of cut glass and folding organs, and was the club's second president. Will Neff, a State Street dentist, was secretary of the Chicago Club for many years. Clark Hawley, an eye, ear, nose, and throat doctor, was the Rotarian who started the club's charity service idea in 1907 with the purchase of a horse for a country doctor. John Sullivan owned a painting and decorating business. Barney Arnson was a mortician, but his nickname Cupid showed that he was better known for his matchmaking abilities. Bob Fletcher, an architect, devoted much of his free time supporting the growth of public libraries. Harry Crofts was president of Illinois Paper Box Company and a past president who, due to his travels, attended many meetings in California. Nicknamed the Boy Orator, Charlie Schneider always voiced his opinion when club issues arose. He was president of Schneider Floral Company and the unofficial recorder of the club. Affable Fred Tweed built his glass sign business from 2 employees to over 700 and was instrumental in founding the New York Club. Max Goldenberg, president of the Goldenberg Furniture Company, built and donated the President's Chair, now on display in the Rotary One Club's offices. Rotarians of every race and creed gather in over 150 countries around the world to carry on the fellowship and tradition of service established by the boys of 1905. The warm and generous spirit that reverberated across the banquet room of the Sherman Hotel so many years ago echoes today in the laughter and smiles of millions who benefit from the charitable programs of Rotarians in every corner of the globe. Rotary One Chicago, Paul Harris's founding club, remains today a vibrant example of the ideals established by the boys of 1905. Its Tuesday luncheons, just a few blocks from the original Sherman Hotel, feature prominent speakers and warmly welcome visiting Rotarians from clubs all around the world. The Gyrator has also come a long way, but is still written by Rotarians and still reports on the many charitable Rotary One events that carry on the work of the founding members. And it all started in 1905 with the simple idea that people with vision could work together and make a difference in the world.
Thanks. I thought it was a really neat video. Very interesting to see the original boys of 1905 and to see how Rotary has definitely come a long way, but it has remained the best, I believe, service organization. So I hope you all enjoyed that. And I thought it was interesting they mentioned the influenza plague of 1918 and how they couldn't meet for their regular luncheon meetings, but they were having the roundtable. So I feel like we're having kind of a roundtable here on our WebEx meetings. But I would like to see y'all in person sometime soon, hopefully. Congrats again to our Paul Harris Fellows and also to our slate of officers. And I just want to thank Joe for being so great about setting up these WebEx meetings every week and sending everything out in a timely manner and being very flexible when things change. And I think he's done a great job, and he's made it very easy for us to still be able to continue to meet and see each other. So I appreciate him very much. And if there is no other announcements or any comments about anything, then thank you so much, and we will see you again next Thursday. I think Joe said, please stay safe. As Georgia begins to open up businesses, some China residents are reporting a second wave of the virus, and many experts in the U.S. agree that this may also happen here in the U.S. Looking back at the Spanish flu, the second wave was especially deadly. That's true. Please, everybody, stay safe and stay well. And I love you all, as does Renee says that she does as well. So I think we all do, but stay safe, and we will see you all here again next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Angie.
Bye.
Thank you, Angie.